Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Vaipo. We're going to be continuing on with this best of 3 series between our Protoss player Mello, also better known as PuCk, and Zanster on the top right hand side. And I don't think he's better known as anything else. He's actually quite new on the scene. So we're going to be on Orbital Shipyard on this game. I'm going to zoom out straight away so I don't forget it later on. And let's see what kind of start we have from both of our players. Now, let's see. There's actually an Overlord gone out already. I do believe that I'm a little bit behind on my casting. Let's just continue on. 2 Zerg drones being produced here again. Another quite standard start for our player. And the third drone is then going to be used for a hatchery. If I am thinking right. Sorry, this drone going to be used for a hatchery. Third one going back to the mining. So quite perfect timing here on the hatch. Overlord is going to be scooting on down to scout what is going on. There is an early nexus coming out from PuCk before the gateway, so that's something to note, that he's not expecting any sort of shenanigans to go out from Zanster. I suppose maybe he's aware of Zanster's playstyle. I'm sure all of these players study each other quite a lot before they start playing, so he wouldn't be expecting to get a 12 pool or a 14 pool or something like that, because that of course would pretty much screw him over right here. Now another thing to note, there is no block whatsoever. This is a very, very interesting start coming in here from PuCk. I wonder, is he going to either block it now, or if he is just going to do some sort of strange shenanigans? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. We do have a pylon built now. Going to be blocking off a little bit late. Not quite sure why that is, but I'll let him do the pro gaming. I'm obviously no pro myself. There we go, hatchery is about to be done. Spawning pool going to be done roughly at the same time. I do believe the spawning pool is a little bit shorter creation time, so that is going to be up first. I always find that the hatchery just about comes online right when the spawning pool is complete, and then you're basically not supply blocked if you don't build this additional overlord. So there we go, the full block off now. Cybernetics core is now online. There's 2 gateways on the field, 2 gases also, so these are quite early gases. Let's see what he's going to be pulling off with it. I suspect that he's going to go with building a starport, or stargate rather, as soon as the cybernetics core is up, and getting the oracle out for the usual 4.5, 5 minute timing, perhaps even a little bit earlier. So let's see, cybernetics core is now up. He is obviously researching the warp gate technology. That is pretty standard. A 3rd hatchery coming down from Zanster, so he's obviously deciding to macro up quite heavily. Zerglings on the field. There is about 3 of them with metabolic boost almost complete as well. Just setting these Zerglings here, probably gonna wait. I'm not quite sure if that was actually the best of idea. He probably would have wanted to actually run in here before there's extra units. Now that there's 2 adepts, there's absolutely nothing that those Zerglings can do to get in here. What is this here? Robotics facility actually being built rather than a Stargate. That is quite interesting that he's not interested in that, even though he does have double gas at the very, very beginning. I suspect that because it worked for him last time, he's going to go again for that disruptor play. This adept is probably going to drop, but on the other side, oh, look at that! Does get taken out before the shade actually completes. Takes out 4 Zerglings, including with the pylon itself. Actually takes out 2 of them, but I suppose that is quite okay. It does prevent, of course, the entry. Losing 1 adept, not a big deal. He did actually end up losing 2 in the previous game. Now, if you haven't seen the previous game, please go back on my videos and watch the first game of the series. Very, very important that you know what happened there. And I will spoil it very, very shortly, so please pause this and go to the other video right now if you wish. So a little bit oversaturated on both of his bases. Probably going to take a few of these drones and either put them on gas, or actually, as you can see here, transfer them over. Takes off to leave about 3 left to be fully saturated. Oh, there we go, we have a roach warren coming down. Not a very early one, but he is of course predicting that there's probably going to be a similar play like last time. So on the last mission, or on the last battle, to be more accurate, there was actually something interesting going on. So Zanster decided to go ahead and build mutalisks, but the mutalisks came out a little bit too late, and what ended up happening was that PuCk had too big of a ground army, and he ended up just steamrolling straight into the base. The mutalisks couldn't challenge them, and of course Zanster didn't have enough ground units to defend against such a large Stalker and Disruptor army. So in this one, obviously he's opting to get a few extra ground units here as well, since he's building that Roach Warren. So it looks like Zanster is actually taking down the debris in the back of the second base, second expansion rather. I believe he's probably going to be expanding quite soon, not expecting too much early aggression from our Protoss player PuCk. I'm not quite sure if that's the best of assumptions to make, but of course maybe he's just preparing to see what's happening and then he'll make the decision of expanding or not expanding. So we do currently have 4 total gases being used up, 5 that is actually. Let's correct ourselves here. Hydralis then also on the way, probably going to bring up those lurkers. They did do quite a lot of damage in the last mission, but unfortunately because of the lack of ground units, he wasn't still able to defend against it. Now this is a great composition here from PuCk. One thing that I want to mention is that the way the Protoss meta currently works is they have both units, ground units, that are great against light units and heavy units. So the Immortals have always been known for their huge amount of damage towards heavy units. So there we go, 50 damage. And then the Adepts now are very good against light units, so they do more than double the damage versus light units than they do versus heavy units. So I wonder, is he aware of the Roach Warren? He's not aware of the Roach Warren just yet, so now he is of course going to be able to see them. Not quite sure if he's going to want to take on all of these roaches. Going to be a very, very difficult thing. Now again, we do see the sentries being up here, possibly going to block. Oh, he does block off half of the army. Gonna see what he's going to do. Obviously the Ravagers can actually break the force fields. It is something to note for some of you out there who are trying to learn how to play the game a little bit. So the actual Ravage, what is it called again? I'm going to bring up the skill. It's called Corrosive Bile. I should know this by now since I play Roach, play Zergling. Oh my god, I cannot speak English right now, but there's a huge battle going on. As I said, this was probably not the greatest of engages for PuCk, simply because of the amount of units that the Zerg player already has. He did get the 3 early bases up straight away, did decide to go full on Roach, and now this could potentially backfire onto PuCk, since he lost all of his units. He has 145 damage on a roach. So if you do note that the disruptors don't actually one-shot roaches simply because of that 1 armor. They just about survive. The Purification Nova does exactly 145 damage, which gets reduced by armor. So this getting taken out, he's no longer expecting to see any roach run-bys or Zergian run-bys, simply because he's probably expecting a big massive engage here. The Observer going to be sitting here watching everything. Probe standing here just to see if there is an expansion coming out soon. Of course he did opt to expand in the other direction. So this gets cleaned up quite quickly. Not too much damage done to this second expansion. Third expansion is going to be up. Oh, he does spot it up. The third expansion straight away. Zealots being warped in are unfortunately going to be taken out pretty much straight away. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but on the other hand, he is still aware of what's going on here. So 400 minerals for the sake of knowing that there is a 4th expansion or 4th base coming up for our Zerg player. I suppose it could potentially be worth it. So let's see, is he going to be able to pull off anything with this Warp Prism? I honestly don't think he's going to be able to take out this base unless these units here decide to go on back down, or down to the south. There's of course, as you can see, big massive engages here. The army a little bit split up just in case that Disruptor decides to catch anything out. The 1 Purification over here could probably take about half of these out if they're clumped up like this, but of course they do need to be a little bit damaged before it actually kills them. Now Ravagers do get destroyed by 1 Purification Nova going off and taking out the Ravager, and 1 Roach also that was already a little bit low on health. So that is perfect. Just free kills every now and then is perfect. Purification Nova going to be up very, very soon. Going to try another hit here. Let's see if he gets anything. Oh, he's potentially going to get sniped here. Does bring it on back. He is going to try to get the Purification Nova off now, potentially. Is it going to do it? Is he going to do it? He is getting surrounded here. This could be very, very bad for PuCk. He's getting surrounded pretty much from every side. A few Ravagers, or 1 Ravager here in the back, just nuking away. Not quite using the Corrosive Bile ability, but he is bringing on all his units back up the ramp. This is going to be a very, very tense moment for PuCk. He's still on 2 bases versus a 4-player Zerg player. For the 4 base Zerg player. So this is going to be a very, very tough moment for him. Oh, Zerglings coming out as well. Going to be very, very tough to break up a ramp when there is only just that small choke. Of course, he is probably going to just nuke this pylon, take it down, and rush in. But that could prove difficult. It's a bit of a risk because he's not quite sure what exactly the Protoss player has behind him. Let's quickly see what kind of scouting he has. Right, so he is aware. He's not aware of the robotics facility. Well, sorry, he is now that he's seen disruptors. My mistake. Obviously, he didn't see the base, but that is a little bit predictable. He is not aware of this, I assume, either, since he's not killing it. Yeah, he's definitely not aware of it. Lots of Mutalisks on the way. Hello! This could be very fatal for PuCk right now. This time, doesn't have a huge army. He did end up losing quite a lot of units in the engage up near the Zerg base, so this could be fatal right now. If he pulls off all his units towards the back, Zanster is gonna take all of his units in the front and rush them on here. So it's going to be very difficult. He has very little anti-air as well if you look at it. There's what, about 8 stalkers there? I'm going to quickly count that. About 10 actually. So the Mutalisk group, which is a lot bigger, it's actually about 19 of them here. Let's just confirm that. 23, which includes some of them that are flying in. They're pretty much going to be able to free harass whatever they want, because if they pull too many units off the front, oh, 2 Purification Novas, gonna take out a few units there, not too many. Did catch 1 Roach and a few Zerglings, but still does deny the ability for the Zerg to rush on in. So there we go. The very good control from PuCk at the moment, just denying the ability to harass too much. He is going to be losing a few Mutalisks here on the way. A lot of Blink Stalkers just going all the way in just to deny this as much as possible. I'm not quite sure why Zanster is not opting to basically just run on in with these units. There's only 2 disruptors here. If he breaks through this, it's going to be absolutely impossible for PuCk to defend against all this. I mean, as you can see, he has a lot of units streaming in pretty much all the time. Oh, this sneaky best does get spotted. Let's see, does he see the other one down the bottom right? He does not at all. So there you go, recalling a lot of probes. This is quite clever now, so there's no need to transfer the probes. He has a absolutely full saturation here on the minerals. This is brilliant play from PuCk. Very, very good to hide that base like that. Let's see if these Mutalisks are going to decide to actually go back here and actually see if there's that sneaky expansion. Of course, he would suspect something going on if PuCk has not GG'd yet. Ooh, taking out another dwarf gate. This just breaks the actual the block that was going on here. So no blocking at all left here. Just a little bit of a choke. Let's see what's going on. There's a few Hydralisks on the field as well. It's going to be very dangerous against disruptors. Oh, these Zerglings are going to rush on in. All of the units are actually out the back. This is exactly what I was hoping that Zanster would do. Just run on in while the Mutalisks are distracting the units. The disruptors getting taken out by the Zerglings and Mutalisks. GG called by PuCk. And that is that. So a different outcome in this one. It's 1-1 in this best of 3. We are going to be moving on to a game number 3, which is perfect. And as you can see here, the early expand from the Zerg player not getting punished by PuCk. Of course, he wasn't aware of the bases until it was a little bit too late and the economy was already rolling. So that's pretty much that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please consider leaving it a thumbs up. If you haven't, of course, you can thumbs it down. I hope you won't. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck. Take care. Bye bye.